Hey, welcome to this episode of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So welcome. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, then do subscribe. If you've been following along, you'll see a playlist of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. If you're listening, then you'll see this episode on the podcast platforms. All right, so today is Friday. It's Relationship Freedom Friday in my world. And so I want to talk about soul family and soul tribe, soul family influence and soul tribe impact. And I think that it is absolutely one of my favorite days to talk about soul family, not just blood family, but soul family, those that we resonate and those connections, and calling in our soul tribe and serving our soul tribe. And I'm doing that in so many different ways. And coming back online after a spiritual awakening, a dark night of the soul, after many, but the most recent one. And it's been really interesting, and it's been challenging, but it's also been rewarding and very fulfilling and very worthwhile. So this episode, on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, I share a practical episode, not only of my highs, my lows, and you might hear some background noise. I might actually put my headphones on. My highs, my lows, and everything else in between. And so I invite you to share this out, share in the comments, just your experience of what soul family means to you, calling in your soul family. There's a lot of us as light workers, as spiritual entrepreneurs, who position ourselves in family, in hopefully you can hear me out. I haven't dumbed down my sound altogether, so that's a bit risky to do that while I'm on live, but I've plugged my headphones in anyway. All right, so yeah, a lot of us have placed ourselves strategically around the world in quite dark places or places where we have, the opportunity to grow, to shine our light. And so I love this journey, me understanding the journey even more. And that's what I want to share with you as we live more intentionally, as we become in alignment with your vision, we journal together, as we set intentions together, express gratitude together on this episode, and, your next soul guided action steps. I'm going to share a book that I read. I usually share a book at the end of this podcast. And the book that I was listening to today was Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. And I don't think I've actually listened to it, or I don't remember listening to it. And the May Cause Miracles, I have that. I think I have that on Kindle. I believe the universe has my back, but I wanted for Relationship Freedom Friday. Usually I'll listen to like the love languages or something like that, the 5 love languages and relationships. But I was called and drawn to listen to that. And it's really, I got a lot out of it today. So I'll share that, and I will share me pulling a card from the Keepers of the Light. That's interesting as well. All of the journey. I wanted to document my journey as the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, launching my day and leading my day is like a really big, hairy deal. Just being in alignment with my vision. I know that not everybody knows what their vision is. And so today I've been doing some preparation for recording and tweaking the Soul Legacy launch blueprint and scheduling some stuff out and some bonuses. And that soul family influence and that soul tribe impact, I'm super, super excited about it. I'm super excited about the journey. I mean, last week to this week, I didn't know that I would be in this location with soul family, right? Not blood family, soul family, but absolutely family. And we've been having the conversation. So as a spiritual digital nomad traveling or getting ready to travel, I would say, it's been an interesting journey with soul family and that soul tribe impact. And I would say that who you're connected with, if you've ever heard of, welcome, if you've ever heard of the 5 closest people to your principal, it matters. I found that out like over this last few months, me relocating, and I went to London to stay with a friend, and and it was amazing. We've had a really long friendship, and it was amazing until it wasn't. And it's amazing until it isn't, because when your values are not aligned, or your vibration is not aligned, or your vision is not aligned with whoever you're around, you kind of grow apart from people without even realizing it. And that's true of being in relationships. It's true of the people that you're here to serve. I've up leveled so much. And so welcome, Sydney. Sydney's on YouTube. Hey, love. Glad to catch my favorite frequency. Yes. Tuning into the Seven Freedoms frequency. That's exactly why I called it the Seven Freedoms frequency podcast, because we set that intention to vibrate higher as a result of spending this time together. I'm someone who really does name everything that I do very intentionally. So I'm glad that you caught that. So thank you for joining me, Sydney. So it is Soul Family Relationship Freedom Friday. It is my absolute favorite day. I think this is what makes the world go around. Our relationship with us, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about the connection to source, how we've come to this earthly plane to express our gifts in the world as spiritual entrepreneurs. But at the same time, when we're getting to know us, it's the experiences that we've had around the people that we've been around that birth our gifts even more. And so then we're able to give back and serve. So I was saying that my journey, I'm surprised that where I'm at now, because that last week I wasn't in this location, and I've had the most amazing week. I've had the most blessed week. And don't know about you, whether you're really close to your family, but my family is I'm the youngest of 7, and so my family there's so many dynamics, right, to kind of get everybody to agree and to gel, but at the same time, it's family first. Like, if there's anything going on, it's like, we're that kind of family. Like, I will fight for you. And so, and I did that, with the children, for the children that I was fostering for a year. And I actually got to see them yesterday. So part of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is about noticing your own relationship with you, your relationship with your soul family, your relationship with your soul tribe, calling them in and having that experience, looking back. What's your experience been like over this last week? Because for me, when I went through a spiritual awakening, multiple, through relationships, I had toxic relationships, I had toxic experiences. When I say toxic, negative, I just don't vibe at that level. And that has helped me grow. And so the relationship that I was in for 7.5 years, a soulmate connection, obviously. And, he messaged me, and he messaged me last week and said, it was Friday, it was last Friday. And he said, are you going to be in like this hometown anytime soon? Because he knew I was in London. I think he kind of missed me, because it's like, we didn't see each other, but we lived in the same town for we've been split like 7 years. But he helped me when I was moving, and he's always been there for my daughter. And so I was like, well, it's funny that you say that, because I'm going tomorrow. And he goes, that's odd. When you've got that connection, you've just got that connection, right? So we're going to catch up, which is nice. And so, and then I think it was yesterday or the day before, my ex-husband messaged after he helped me as well when I was moving. It's like 3 months ago, and they're kind of coming back. And I set that intention to come full circle, really, in all of my relationships, and coming back to where my family are from. My dad's passed now, and this is like the hometown that, I grew up in for part of my childhood. And my son went to his first day at school just up the road. It's just brought back a lot of memories for me. And so I reflect a lot. When I look back on this last week, I want to see, who have I been around? How do I feel around them? How can I serve them? How is that relationship serving me? And how can I improve it? And so we journal on that, right? Because I've got relationships on my vision board. I've got a soulmate relationship on my vision board. I want to manifest my husband. And I'm laughing because for me, I came off of the dating app. I was like, that kind of thing that people are seeking, that love. And I talk about this more on my other YouTube channel, but I'm like, that's not for me. And I've come really full circle. And I'll talk about it with the book that I read, that I'll listen to today, Gabby Bernstein, and her ideas on love. And that's where I've gone. I think that's why I was attracted to her book today, because I've got a new level and a new understanding of love. And I had a new understanding of love in relationships as well. But having so much contrast, it's been really interesting for me. Just let's say that. So hopefully your week has been good. We're going to dive into the episode, and I just want to reflect on my relationships, because I had an interview today, the interview that I was going to have last week, and I didn't. We just had a conversation, which is beautiful. What else did I do today in terms of my daughter's coming and bringing me fish and chips? I was like, I really fancy fish. She's like, Mom, I'll get you them. And I saw my sister, she's come over from the States. That wasn't planned, but we're here at the same time, right? I was going to go over to my sister's actually. I was like, can I come over and stay? And I still might. I saw my nephew, just really, and calling in more Soul Tribe over this last week. That for me just checks in on where I'm at vibrationally. So how are you feeling in terms of your vibration? So we rate our vibrational frequency, and we do it every single day on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. So if nobody's asked you today, how are you feeling? Right? How are you feeling? Are you feeling in soul funk? Are you feeling in soul flow? And Sydney, I know that you haven't been feeling great, so hopefully you're feeling better and you've got those loving and supportive relationships around you. And so the relationships that we have on our vision board, we want to feel them, feel into them now, right? So we can manifest them. So we rate between a 1 and 11. 11 is like, I'm connected to source, like I'm connected to my higher self. Like this is like, that energy is flowing through me. It's guiding me. And I say soul guided influencers. And that's why I say, I don't want to be an influencer on YouTube or online. It's soul guided, because we have influence, whether we choose to or not. We have unintentional influence or intentional. And I wanted to live more intentionally so that I could have influence. Whatever I do, whatever you do, we're influencing the vibration of the planet. Just, we know, right? So I want to be intentional, and I'd love, to be on the journey with you to set that intention for your vision, for you to be in alignment with your values, and then raise your vibrational frequency where anything feels off. So Sydney says, oh my God, do let me know when and where when I come to the States. So my sister lives in North Carolina. I believe, North Carolina. I have never been yet. So yeah. Oh, I will. Oh, thank you. See these relationships, right? When you connect soul to soul, and I connected with a lady. I just saw her. She lives in Scotland. I saw her online. She just opened her mouth. We're friends on Facebook. She opened her mouth on this video, and I was like, I have to have you on. And so I have to have you on the show. And she said, I feel that connection with you as well. And I looked at what she does, and I was like, I won't give a spoiler alert. But then, like for Sydney, our connection, I'm like, actually, just sat in today. I'm like, what conversation do I want to have, and who do I want to have that conversation with? And Sydney came to mind, and I asked you as well. I'm just flowing. I'm just really, really flowing and being very intentional around who I have around me that lights up my soul. Like I love it. So yeah, I will let you know when I go to the, you know me, I'm going to announce it, right? I'm on here daily. So we're rating our vibrational frequency. Also, I have the next segment for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is our vision board, our vision. I talked about it a little bit. Sydney said, I'm definitely in soul flow today. Woo, woo, while continuing the healing journey. Awesome. I love that. I love that you're experiencing that soul flow. It's such a beautiful energy it's effortless. You just don't even have to do anything. When you try and force things and for me, it just doesn't work. I'm guided and yesterday I was going to do some recording. Was it yesterday or the day before? I had my daughter came round. No, my daughter we went out, and I said, look, I've got some recording. She said, I don't even know what you think you're doing, but between this time and this time, yesterday, between this time and this time, you are busy, meaning like step away. And I was like, so grateful. She knows me so well. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I was grateful because what I was going to record wouldn't have looked like it did today, because I really got deep clarity on it. And I needed that breakaway to then organize it. Because I said to her, look, I know you're coming around at this time, my Erlen and dyslexia. If I rush anything, I go on meltdowns. I'm just not even going to lie. I go on meltdowns. I'm not in flow. I'm blocking. And I said to her, it's stressing me out. Not literally stressed. I just say, oh, you know, I get flappy. And she's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it feels rushed. And she's like, do what you can. Do your live. I didn't even do my live. I did it later on. And I was like, okay, I know that I'm busy. So I told my mum, I'm busy between this time. Let me get done what I need to do. Whatever is done today, that's the job for today. And then do tomorrow. And I was on fire today. I'm like, that is why. So that soul flow just feels really flowing. It takes a lot longer than some people. Some people like, I want to help you write your book in a weekend. I'm like, I'm going to take a whole year. Like, that's it, you know, for me. So what is on your vision board? And if you haven't done a vision board, I have a 7-day spiritual business vision board challenge, which I talk about every single day. And I'm going to do it live. And do you know what it said? On the live, it said like 41 days or something. It might be 40 days now till the vision board challenge in December. I'm like, what? Already, I did it in July and I'm going to do it annually, but I'm doing it live again. And I'm like, wow, you know? So do join me. There's a replay, and also click the upcoming lives, December. There'll always be a replay and there'll always be new lives. So whenever you're listening to this, you can go to the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. That's where my success started, with a vision. And I was talking about that on my interview today. It'll be out in a few weeks, about failure. And the thing that got me through was vision boarding, and knowing that it's not a failure, knowing that everything is for me. So if you want to do the vision board challenge, so you can get clarity on all areas of the Seven Freedoms frequency, do that. And when we're rating our vibration, we're doing it every day on relationships, but also on how you're contributing in the world as a spiritual entrepreneur, what your health is like as a spiritual entrepreneur. As Sydney said, you know, she's recovering and healing, as your emotions, right? Or as your environment in relation to living intentionally for your relationships, your spirituality, and your financial freedom. And there's a payment that was unexpected that went into my bank today. I'm like, hallelujah, thank you, universe. Sydney said, I had so many effortless moments of signs of abundance and wealth and emotional connections. Yes. Write them down in your journal, girl. It's just such a celebratory moment for me when I do these lives. Apparently it's work, but it's just a conversation. Apparently it's marketing, because I'm streaming out on my YouTube channel, I'm streaming out in my groups, I'm streaming out on Twitter, I'm streaming out in the Soul Legacy Academy. I'm going to repurpose this as a podcast. It's not for me. It's a moment where I meet my intentions and I speak into existence what it is that I want to create, and I notice and I say thank you and we appreciate. So if you haven't done a vision board, it takes a week. Each day we break down your life, and I'm telling you, it's lit. I love it. I absolutely love it. I didn't make up vision boards. Like, we know that they work, but how we feel about them and how this book, Sydney, this book is absolutely amazing. This book came into my world, and she talks about the manifestation equation, law of attraction, law of vibration, law of action, and the law of rhythm. I'm really enjoying reading this book. So I'm going to bring this into what it is that I'm doing. Again, books, relationships with the author. As we write our own book, as I teach my students to write their own book, I want us to have a relation, as an author, to have a relationship with our readers. And so this time that I spend is for my readers. I invite them to come and journal with me, come and journal out the process. It's just amazing. All right, so that's the vision board. That's our vibration. Let me have a look at my notebook, because Let's go for the second. Oh, free. Cheers to financial freedom, frequency, gratitude. Let's express gratitude. Post the author, please. Yes, I will. It is. She is Jordana Levin. Make it happen. Manifest the life of your dreams. So if you don't know, I'll take a screenshot or I'll post it to you. So this book came to me this week, and it was left at I'm staying at my sister-in-law's, and it was left on the bedside cabinet, and I'm like, all of the whole room was cleared out, loads of storage and stuff, which I've given away most of my possessions. So I'm like, okay, thanks. And this book was there, and I was like, it was my other niece. I'm at my niece's house, and I was with my other niece, and I was like, I came to this niece, and I said, "Did you see this book?" I said she was going to go see her sister, and I said, "Tell her I've got a book." And she said, "Yeah, I know." She was clearing out her stuff, and somebody must have given it to her because there's no way that she would read this. And she said, "Oh, I think Auntie Noni will." They call me Noni. I think Auntie Noni would like this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Thank you so much." So this is going to change all of our lives. See how when you're an author, right, deciding to write a book, the book is birthed and it has its own life. It literally gets passed around and gets to where it needs to be. I didn't buy this book. Like I didn't know last week that I'd be reading this, but I'm ecstatic because the way that the author writes it, it's a confirmation of what we're doing now. I love it. And what, how we will get better with it, how I'll get better with it. I love it. So let's do gratitude, the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast way, which is saying cheers to financial freedom. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And talking about happiness, the book that I listened to today by Gabrielle Bernstein, she was Universe Has You Back. She believes in manifestation, right? She was talking about happiness, and I want to dive into that at the end of this because she wasn't happy. After all of the success, she wasn't happy. So, let's shoot for happy. Let's not shoot for all the, into an internal state. So, and she said that we resist happiness and we resist, there's just so much. I'll share my notes. So what is it? I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And whether it's something in the past, something in the present, or something in the predicted future, right? So I'm grateful for this stone. My daughter contributed this stone to me. She's 20 now. She was little. And we used to say gratitude all of the time. She's coming with fish and chips. I can't even wait. So I'm not even going to hang on here long because I'm hungry. So when we say we're grateful, we think of each area of your life. So contribution. So what are you grateful for? This is a time to write it down in your journal, or what I like to do is soul speak it into existence because this is my video journal. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my daughter giving me this gratitude stone all those years ago so I could be connected to her energy and our love and share that with you. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate health. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate your healing journey, Sydney, and you sharing that with me. I'm really, really happy and grateful that you are healing. That's really beautiful. So in this present moment, I'm really happy and grateful for that and that you're feeling in flow. So I'm happy and grateful, like time just slowed down for me then. It's that vibration, right? Across the miles. Yeah, it just slowed down for me then, sending that out. Wow. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate emotions. I've had a lot of laughter, a lot of giggling, a lot of laughter this week. And that for me has been amazing. That's fuel for your soul. There's a time where, I would laugh for like a minute a day because they say that when you laugh, intentionally, when you laugh intentionally, it's such good medicine for the soul. Sometimes we're not always laughing, especially when we go through a dark night of the soul. It doesn't feel funny. We forget to laugh, right? I'm a happy person anyway, most of the time. Sydney says, I appreciate the reminders today that being surrounded by supportive, loving people goes beyond physical presence. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. There's that I feel. Wow. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to leave that up there for just a minute, just in case somebody else needs to hear or see that. That's huge. It is a reminder, and we do forget, and that's why I'm here, living intentionally every single day. I'm showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. You know what? For you, for my students in the Soul Legacy Academy, but for me first, this is how I feel called to be in service by just being me. By just being me. And if I can, be that little, person that tweaks your vibration, just that reminder, that's fantastic for me, because that goes such a long way. That's that soul family influence and that soul tribe impact. You don't know what you don't know how you're going to impact someone by just showing up and just smiling, right? And just asking someone, how are you doing today? So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate environmental freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate our environment right now. Like wherever I am, and I can see you that you're on. Do comment, let me know where you are in the world, because I'm here in the UK and I know that it's limitless. I know that like being in service is just so expansive. Technology allows that for us to carry our vibration, and for me to carry my vibration and my voice and my message all over the world. For somebody that's got an internet connection, is beautiful. That environmental freedom, that feels like freedom to me. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate relationships, all of them. I'm really happy and grateful and appreciate the relationship with my daughter. That's like a given. But we've been apart for like 3 months, and I've seen her. This will be the third time I'm going to see her on Sunday. I'm like, oh, you know. But I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the relationship that she has with her partner. He is amazing. I know that my daughter is in safe hands. Like, I've got that peace of mind, and we've got a really great relationship as well. So I'm happy and grateful for that relationship. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual freedom. Look, just that it brings, we make it happen. The universal laws, we've got to work it. Works if you work it, and we're guided by our soul. I'm happy and grateful that I know that, and I live that, right. And I listen to, it's a Millionaire Mind Intensive. I always talk about the Millionaire Mind and T. Harv Eker's work, and it's on this weekend. And one of the trainers said, this is a system and it works if you work it. And so I birthed a framework on a 1-page plan, and it works if you work it. I'm working it. Like I was given it. I was called, I downloaded it, I listened, I was guided. And do you know what? It wasn't even given to me all at once. It was given to me over all of these years. And I'm like, I'm listening. Just pre-pandemic, pre-2020, I had this guidance of, I want to get ready. And I'm like, dude, I'm getting ready. I shouted, I'm getting ready. Like, do you not see me getting ready? But I didn't know what I was getting ready for. So I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. There's just been a chunk of money just in my account. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Unexpectedly. So how beautiful is that, right? So that's our gratitude. That's how I do mine. I soul speak into existence. I'm looking around my world for evidence of what is raising my vibration. I'm looking for evidence that what is on my vision board is manifesting, is in my reality now, right? Is it because when we're grateful and happy and we appreciate what we have now, then that's that vibration and that energy that says, I'm emitting the vibration, watch the miracles happen, right? So the next segment is how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. And because I've had a change of my environment, I'm doing this. And I spent like an extra, I think, hour in bed today. So I launched my day in a lazy way, which was really nice. And then I remembered that I had an interview. So I was like, okay, let me like come back to my nieces. And I didn't rush. I do that. And I didn't rush. I was listening to my Audible book, which was Gabby Bernstein. So I didn't do the breath work this morning. As I was walking, I thought, you just breathe. I just feel really good. So how are you launching your day? You're launching your day doing your soul work in the world as a spiritual entrepreneur. Do you have that on your vision board? What do your days look like? Who are you launching it with? Right? For me, my manifestation on my vision board in terms of relationship is my husband, manifesting my husband. And there's somebody in my life who I haven't met yet, who will not go away. Who just keeps coming. There's a connection there. I'm like, what is this? It's not like a straightforward, it would be, but there's definitely something. I feel it, he feels it, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. But he sent me a clip, like playing music in the car as he's driving, and I used to do that with my twin flame. He doesn't know that, but I got that, and it just gave me a really great feeling. I was like, oh wow, it's just really nice to be thought of. So how I'm launching my day, leading my day, and leaving my day feels like sitting, paying attention to the relationships that I'm building online, the relationships I have offline, the relationship with me, relationship with source, my higher self, guides, angels. So what does your day look like? Have you had a good day? And if you have, and what's your vibrational frequency? So when we check in, mine's 11. So between a 1 and 11. If it's lower today, why? And what do you want to do more of? And if it's higher today, great. What are you doing that's working? Keep doing that. Oftentimes we're like, yeah, I want to do something else. Like you get in a rhythm, and then you quit doing the thing that's actually working. And then you're like, oh, I feel like this now, but keep doing the things that's working. I had an interview today. I didn't actually record, but I got ready for some recording. And I'm going to see my daughter. And I just had a chilled, really nice day. And I feel accomplished in my day. I was going to have another call for another interview, and I was like, let me reschedule that. I'm hungry. I want fish and chips. I haven't had them for months. I usually eat plant-based, but I've been pescatarian for like about 15 years, and I'll go in and out of it. So I'm like, oh, my belly's rumbling. So how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day, how can you bring that in alignment with what you have on your vision board? So the next segment is what 1 to 3 soul guided action steps, and journal this out. And if you are in the Soul Legacy Academy as a boot camper or the masterminder, we have the Seven Freedoms Frequency call-in gym, right? So we've got a 2-hour monthly coaching call on the first Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time, 3 till 5, right? So I can support you in this. We set our intentions, and then every single day I'm showing up. I know that there's not another coach who will do it, because apparently I'm a crazy lady. But what I want to do is have that 2-hour monthly coaching call, serve one to many, and then just come on and serve you anyway. So how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. What can you do? And if you come on the call, that's a gift, by the way, to my boot campers and my masterminders. It's $77 a month. That's a gift. I remember visualizing that soul family influence and that soul tribe impact. I remember visualizing that. I was with my twin flame, and I was like, well, this is the business model, and this is, if you hear my belly rumble, this is the business model, and this is what I want to do, and this is when I want to work, and this is what and it's manifested. It's just so beautiful. That's how I wanted to launch my day, lead my day, and leave my day. I'm very intentional, and I teach it. I teach intentional living. So the soul income game is next. I'll pull the card at the end. The soul income game, bank 50K in 50 days, y'all. So we want to, and do you know what? Your money, Abraham Hicks said this, money comes through people. Sydney says, it must be in the air. I launched my day finding out how productive I could be from the coziness of my bed. That's exactly what I did this morning. That is exactly what I did. I was reading the book, and I was listening to a recording that I'd done yesterday, and I was taking notes, and I'm like, this is the life. Like, this is not my bed. I'm staying as a spiritual digital nomad. I gave up everything. So I'm experiencing different environments, and no matter where I am in the world and where I travel, I will have my books, and I will have my online teaching portal. So it's just a matter of experiencing different environments along the way and just enjoying it. And why not? Like, when you get to own your time, right? Because we rush. And so many people tell me I don't have time for this and I don't have time for that. And it's like, dude, you absolutely have to make time, carve out time. And I know that it's not always easy. I'm not saying like wave everybody out of your life. But what I'm saying is we are very powerful creators and manifestors. And if we've got gunk in our life, it's because of the thoughts, the feelings, actions until today. And so, and the universe, like my life has had to catch up. My life is still catching up. And my intentions are like, dude, bring it. Bring it. Because I know what I visualized. I know what I have in my vortex, right? So the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. So I say that my journal, and again, if you're somewhere that I can't see you commenting, because I can see that there's more than you on, Sydney. If I don't see you, excuse me, if you're in the Soul Legacy Academy or you are on Twitter or somewhere that I don't see, I apologize. I will go and see if there's any comments, but you just go on YouTube. That's the best place. So the Soul Legacy Journal is my journal. There's this or a spiral notebook. I put the spiral notebook in the Soul Legacy Academy today. So I call it 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. You know why? Because we're shifting in our consciousness every single day. And if we don't shift in our consciousness every single day, we're probably going through that awakening where we don't have that knowing that something else is happening. And then we go, oh, that's why we're still shifting. So I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. We go through our spiritual awakening, then our ascension, and then our alchemy, right? And this is me alchemizing all the things that I've been through. So with the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars or euros every single day. It's a vibrational money voucher. Don't ask me for money, right? You're paying me. So, and then we bank the 50K in 50 days. We spend it vibrationally. We spend that money. I got that idea from the Asking It Is Given book, from the Prosperity Game from Jerry and Esther Hicks Abraham. And I didn't like the way that their money doubled and doubled and doubled and doubled. And I think if you did it for a year, it'd be like 66 million. Now, I wanted to have the vibration of me being in service and receiving that soul client income. So I was like, that's not going to work for me. And then it wasn't believable for me. You might be like, oh, that's a bit limiting. 66 million in a year. Come on, right? Like, that's fine. Work up to it. But I was like, what, like my services, I want to have that energy exchange, right? So, and then we tied 10% to a worthy cause. My belly's rumbling, it's putting me off. We tied 10% to a worthy cause, which I tied to Compassionate Friends. It's a charity for bereaved parents because I am one. I dedicate my work to my son. And then we come from the space that all bills are paid and all savings are done, like for a whole year, whatever it is that you want to save. So whatever your soul kind of income, all taxes are done, everything's done. So this is play money. And whatever's on your vision board now, when you've created it, if you go for my 7-day vision board challenge, now you feel the feels of actually going and spending the vibrational money. So every single day, that is what the Soul Legacy Journal gives you, right? Now, if you don't feel like you've got time to spend the money, and you can carry it over. I thought of everything. You can carry it over to the next day. You can carry it over to the next day. But by Sunday, you spend all the vibrational money. So in a week, you spend 7K, right? And so the Bank 50K in 50 days is like you feeling what that would feel like, who you be. Because oftentimes as spiritual entrepreneurs, we want to repel the money. Like, oh, I'm not worthy of the money, but not realizing that it's a tool for you to have more experiences like that expression, right? To have a rich and full life. Of course we want to have that. It's not that we're going to do bad things with money or be evil or what have you, all those beliefs. It's shifting our beliefs without sitting there trying to like bang our heads, right? We're just naturally doing that, and all of a sudden we don't have those money blocks anymore. So you spend it by Sunday, and if you do not spend it, you lose it. You snooze, you lose. And you do not want to give the universe that idea that you don't care about money at all. Because if you do, it's going to manifest in your life, right? So I'm challenging you to bank 50K in 50 days, every single day, every single week with me for 50 days. Now, in the vision board group, I've actually changed the name to Bank 50K in 50 days, the Soul Income Game. So play it with me. Post your vision board in there, your images, do a video, and then post what you're spending your vibrational money voucher on. Actually announce it to the universe. I want to know. And if you're a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, you can do that. And we can jump on the monthly call. So play the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge with me. I love it. Once you're playing it, as a student of mine, if you come to the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, Bank 50K in 50 days, right? I will share with you how to build a business model, which has you have it's around your book. So it's a passive income stream. We have challenges, self-study courses. You can create whatever business model that you want that has passive and leverage income streams, that where you're working one to many, so that you can bank 50K in 50 days effortlessly, right? I love it. We do the maths, we do the vision, the visuals, and then we go for it. I love it. So, you know, I was downloaded that as well. Next thing is the card for today, and then I'll talk about the book, and then I will invite you to our monthly class. So this is the card for today. It is, oh, Sydney, can't you just pronounce that stuff for me? Sanat Kumara. I should have practiced. Light activation. I know that. I love this card. So it says share your light. See, this is what, share your voice and shine your light, right? No, it says shine your light, sorry. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So this is for me and this is for you. Light activation. Birthing that light in the world. And I feel it. I feel it. I feel it so deeply. Like, just, oh, it's expansive. You know, when you go for a dark night of the soul and it feels like heavy and isolating and, oh, and then like when you come out, because I was in that, it creeped up on me. I was talking about that on my interview today. You know, I went through burnout. It was through burnout. It was rude. And I'd stopped doing all of the things I was doing now because I was focusing on looking after 3 children. I think my daughter's here. So yeah, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. I think that's what you saw. Sorry, Sydney says, sorry, I had to step away. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So that is our card for today. So the book that I listened to today was The Universe Has Your Back. Have you read it? By Gabby Bernstein. I've had this book for the longest and I have not read it, and I was guided to it today. So I've got some notes on it. So she says about the patterns that we have. And she talks about a story in the book, and she says about the pain that she had, and she had this pain issue. So she went into a meditation pillow and she journaled, and she asked basically, what is this about? Let me understand what it's about. And she was shocked at the words that she got back were, you have a resist, and I can't read my own writing. I've got a learning dyslexia, but I'm just like rolling with it. I'm looking at this thinking, just remind myself. Basically, she said, her guidance said, you have a resistance to being happy. You have a resistance to love and freedom. You're resisting happiness. And I'm like, whoa. And this is after all of like 10 years into her success and her sobriety and all the things. And she's wondering, like, you know, who am I to feel that way? Like, I thought I'd dealt with it. She'd gone on a spiritual journey and boom, she'd been hit with it again. And so that's why, for me, Sydney says, yes. Oh, have you read it? So for Spiritual Freedom, I would normally listen to something like this on Spiritual Freedom Saturday, but I was called to listen to it today on the relationship that I have with my high self's guidance. And she talks about that resistance to love and happiness. And it's like, no, we don't want to go there. Like, sometimes people don't want to heal. They're like, no, I don't want to let go of whatever this is, right? And so it's serving them in some way. And she talks about love and having that openness to that energy of love and choosing that. And so for me, the understanding of love for me is changing. And it's not that romantic love, obviously, like I say, obviously, but I've just, it's the love that we have, and that peace and that serenity, just that, I don't know, I can't describe it. I've just got it. I just feel it so deeply. And when I was in London, I had so much contrast to that, because I felt it before, but I had so much contrast to that. And Gabby Bernstein was talking about that love and that connection. When we are in that resistance, we're just blocking off that connection. And when we feel like we are doing this life journey alone in the humanness, and we're trying and we're in fear, it's because we're not trusting that we're not alone and we have that guidance. So that's why I say living intentional life and being a soul guided influencer, we're not alone. It's not I'm showing up like This is Iona Meade. Listen to me. I'm just being guided. You're guided to me. I'm guided to you. That's that the soul contracts that we have, just allowing them to be birthed through us. And that's my mission, my big vision and soul mission is to support spiritual entrepreneurs with the movement to become soul guided influencers, like really stepping into that role as a light worker. That's my call. And that's why I'm here, because I know that a lot of us do have fear, right? We have that fear of failure, which I talked about on my interview today. We have that fear of success. We have that fear of selling. And we don't always have the relationships around us to big us up and root for our success. And that's why I created the monthly call, right? So I just love it. That resistance. Do you have that resistance? You feel like you need to struggle. She said about committing to the light. That's what we came here for, to commit to birthing that light in the world. And I love it. That light activation. So that's that guidance. It's like, I don't know. I make some notes throughout the day, and usually I'll just write something, and it's like I've got a structure. But every single episode is different because my experience of that day is different. The framework, my experience from last Friday to this Friday is completely different. But it's relationships. So I'm living intentionally, and I'd love to hear about you living intentionally. I'd love to see you on our monthly call. I'd love to see you on the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass. We have, I talk about speaking to, serving, and signing up your high-paying soul clients as a spiritual entrepreneur online, doing it one-to-many. I love the Masterclass. It's a 4-hour training, apparently 4 hours, but it ends up being like 5.5 hours on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. I stream it on my YouTube channel. So if you're subscribed to it, then you'll get that. If you register, you'll get the bonuses, and you'll get some coaching from me. I've got a free chapter VIP coaching day. And it's about how to start and build a successful online spiritual business on YouTube with a #1 best-selling book launch, because that's my jam. This is me talking about what is in my book and just journaling that. Right. And so Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch is my book, A Soul Guided Influencer's Compass to Leverage Your Lightwork and Lifestyle on YouTube. I'm being that. When you write a book, you live the book. Bob Proctor, the late Bob Proctor, had said that he'd written his book. He'd written his book, I think 20 years or something. And then he created a course like 20 years after that. And then he refined it or something like that. All of the ideas, he just went deep. It took him a while. And I'm like, wow, he wrote his book, and then it took him so long to create the course because he could go deeper and deeper. And so for me, I'm sharing with you how to write your book, how to live your book, how to live the next chapters of your life. And so for the monthly networking call, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, which I'm the producer of, we have YouTube podcasting partnerships for spiritual entrepreneurs with a movement. If you want to connect, you want to continue on this conversation, you want to connect, co-create, collaborate, and cross-promote because you have gifts to birth in the world, I'd love to see you on the call. And make sure that you're scheduled on the call. The link is in the show notes or in the description. And I can see there's more than you on here, Sydney. So thank you for spending your time. This is Relationship Freedom Friday, and we talk about that soul family influence and that soul tribe impact. I'd love to know what you do and who you do it for in the world. Come over to the group. My daughter just messaged me. She said, I couldn't stay. I've got to do something. Enjoy your food. Love you. She's literally just dropped my food for me. Yes. I am hungry. And you know what? It's literally up the road. She's a lot further than I am. I'm like, I'm cold. Can you go get? And she did. I love it. But bear in mind, again, I hadn't seen her for 3 months, and I've seen her for 3. Well, I did. I've not seen her today. 3 times in this last week. So I love it. So thank you for spending this time with me. That is it for the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. Again, share your voice and shine your light because you are born to serve. Big love. Sydney, thank you for spending this time with me. Take care.